Welcome back to Cooking with Kayla D. I'm Kayla, and this is my husband, Randy. My disclaimer. If you haven't done so, please like, subscribe, and share. And remember to hit that notification bell for all the up-to-date episodes. Today we're going to be making Keto pumpkin cheesecake, a no-bake. And for our crust ingredients, we're going to need 2 cups of almond flour, 1/4 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice, 1/8 teaspoon of clove, 6 tablespoons of melted butter, 1/4 cup of powdered sugar. Optional ingredients is a tablespoon of molasses or a tablespoon of almond extract or a teaspoon of ground ginger. This is your pie, so spice it up any way you so choose. Now let's get to it. First off, what we want to do is we want to put our melted butter into our dish. Next, we're going to add, I'm using the molasses, so I'm adding some molasses for some extra sweetness. Then I'm going to go ahead and add in some almond extract just to give it a little bit stronger of some almond flavor. Of course, if you're keto, be sure to check what your molasses is made out of and how many carbs you have if you so choose to use it. So after I got that all mixed in together, I went ahead and added in my pie spice, my cinnamon, and I'm choosing to use some allspice. This is also really good with ginger instead of the allspice or clove. So it's just whatever ingredients you have on hand or that you prefer. But those are the ones that I chose to use this time. I got those into my bowl and I went ahead and put my sweetener in as well, my sugar substitute. I'm just using baking stevia. You can use erythritol or allulose, whichever keto ingredient you use. Also, this can be a regular cheesecake if you're not keto. All you have to do is just substitute that almond flour for some regular graham cracker crushed up, and then replace the sugar substitutes with just your regular sugars, and then it's not keto anymore. It's just a regular old cheesecake. But you want to go ahead and combine your butter with those ingredients and get them well incorporated. Once you do, you want to get you one of these pop-out pie pans or cake pans, and you're going to go ahead and make sure that is on properly. I'm just using my leftover butter wrapper to just go ahead and lightly grease it. You don't have to though, because there's butter in that pie crust, so it's not going to stick anyhow. It will just pop right out. But I'm just going to go ahead and do it just so I'm not wasting any of that butter. So I'm going to go ahead and just dump my cheesecake pie crust into the pan, and now you're just going to press this down and mold it to the bottom of your dish evenly. For me, I wanted to have an edge all the way around, like a little lip edge going up, like maybe 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch. So after I pressed mine firmly down, I went ahead and molded it to where I can have a lip coming up on the sides, just because I like my cheesecake to have a little curved edge on it. But you can do it any way you want. And if you don't want a crust, you honestly don't have to build a crust for it. If you want, you can just do the cheesecake and then scoop it out with like a spoon. It won't come out like a cheesecake slice, but you're still getting all the filling and not the crust, because I know there's a lot of people that don't even like crust, but that is an option for you. So you just go ahead and press firmly down, and as you can see, I've started to create that little lip around the edge, and now I'm pressing it to the sides just to make sure that it's in there and it's firm based and packed well. You don't have to bake this. Again, this is a no-bake pumpkin cheesecake, so we're just going to get our crust in there. This one is made with almond flour, but if you're a regular, you can go ahead and use your regular graham crackers. So go ahead and freeze that for 20 minutes. And for your whipped ingredients, you're going to need 1.5 cups of heavy whipping cream, 1/4 teaspoon of cream of tartar, 1/4 cup of powdered sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Now let's get into making our whipped topping. Now you can also just buy a container of sugar-free whipped topping or make it yourself. I mean, it's up to you. I went ahead and just made mine. It was Thanksgiving weekend and everyone seems to be out of it. So I used my heavy cream. I added my cream of tartar to that, and I went ahead and started blending that until I got stiff peaks. It took about 5 minutes. I started on low, went to medium, and then to high. Probably a minute into it, I was at high for the remaining 4 minutes until I had stiff peaks. Once I did have those stiff peaks, as you can see right here, that's when I went ahead and added in the rest of my ingredients, which is my sweetener substitute and also my vanilla. The sweetener I am using is a powdered sugar sweetener, Swerve brand. That's the one that I had on hand to use. But of course you can use whatever you want. If you have erythritol, granulated erythritol, you could also blend that up in a spice grinder, and that will make a great powdered sugar. For you making this a regular recipe, not a keto version, you would just use your basic powdered sugar. And then you would go ahead and blend that up. And if you don't have powdered sugar on hand, as always, you could just use the regular sugar cane if you were a regular eater, and just grind that up in a spice grinder for like 30 seconds, and it does make powdered sugar. Should go ahead and blend this up for just a couple minutes until it is back to being stiff and well incorporated, and you have your whipped topping. You want to set this in the refrigerator until you need it. Now let's get to these cake ingredients. You'll need 2 8-ounce package of softened room temperature cream cheese, 3/4 cups of powdered sugar, 1/4 cup of brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 2 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/8 teaspoon of salt, and also the whipping cream we just made, or your store-bought sugar-free whipped cream for keto, and non-keto, just your regular whipped topping. Optional ingredients, of course, you can add some ground ginger into that. You can add some molasses for extra sweetness. It is up to you. And remember, keto folks, watch the molasses and pay attention to your carbs. So right now we're going to go ahead and add in our room temperature softened cream cheese right into our mixer bowl. Make sure to get all of that off the wrapper as much as you can. You don't want to waste that cream cheese. So good. So after you have your cream cheese into the bowl, you want to go ahead and blend this up just to get it a little bit broken up and fluffy and kind of mixed into each other. So I did that just to kind of aerate it and put some air into it so it's easier to work with for this recipe, combining the rest of our ingredients. Now for me, I am using the Swerve brand sugars and brown sugars. Right now I'm going to go ahead and add in my 1/2 can or 1 cup of the pumpkin puree. Make sure for keto it says puree and not pie filling. You do not want that extra sugar. And the same thing if you're making it regular and you're not keto. You don't want the pie filling, because then it's actually going to come out and it's going to be overly sweet. I will say that if you choose the optional ingredient of using molasses, it will bring a different flavor into your pie. However, my husband seems to like it, so that's why we added it in there. So now I'm going to go ahead and add my spices. Now that I have that well combined, I put cinnamon and I used pumpkin pie spice, and that was the 2 seasonings I choose to put in there. So I added 1/2 teaspoon of the cinnamon and 2 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice into mine. And once I had that in there, I went ahead and added in my sugars. There is my brown sugar and my regular sugar sweetener. And of course I used the keto ones because I'm making a keto one today. Then I added in a little bit of the molasses for my husband and got that in there. And next I added in our vanilla extract. And then I went ahead and added in our pinch of salt. And then we're going to go ahead and blend this again until it is well combined. You want it to look smooth like it does here, silky and smooth. Once you have that done, you're going to go ahead and grab that Cool Whip from your refrigerator, the whipped topping, and you want to go ahead and add that in to the bowl. And now you're going to put your mixer away and you're going to gently fold in your Cool Whip topping right into your pumpkin cheesecake. And then after you have that folded in and it is well folded, you'll grab your crust from the freezer and pull that out. And then you're going to pour your cheesecake filling right into your crust. And once you have that in there, you're going to gently smooth it out over the top. And then we're going to be freezing this and then refrigerating it. This you can prepare ahead of time. I prepared mine 2 days before Thanksgiving. So I went ahead and smoothed it out with my spatula and got it equal all around the edges. And once I had that smoothed out, I went ahead and placed it into the freezer for 20 minutes. After it was in the freezer for 20 minutes, I went ahead and removed or added plastic wrap to it, and I made sure to press it flat to the top and then around the edges to make sure that no air would get in. You don't want to press hard on it, but you want the plastic to touch it, and you want to make sure you add the plastic after you freeze it. Then after that, you're going to put it back in the refrigerator and store it for up to 2 to 3 days, and then you can go ahead and serve it. You can keep this in your refrigerator for a total of about 5 to 7 days with it not going bad. Next, you'll remove it from the fridge when you're ready to serve. You'll pull it out and you'll pop off your edge, and then you'll have a nice cheesecake. What I did is just took some Cool Whip topping and I just went along the edge. And sorry, keto folks, they were out of Cool Whip spray for keto, so I used regular, but for sure use the sugar-free option. Then I went ahead and sprinkled a little bit of pumpkin pie spice on mine. You can also use cinnamon. And then there you go. There is your keto pumpkin cheesecake. And it's no bake. It's very easy to make, as you can see. And everyone will be well pleased. And it's a guilt-free dessert option for the holidays. So if you didn't have this for Thanksgiving, you must certainly have it for Christmas.
Psalm 119:2. Blessed are those who keep his commandments, who seek him with the whole heart.
And as always, we offer you some beautiful photos here from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina at the end of our videos. We thank you for being here on Cooking with Kayla D. We love having you, and we hope to see you again. Remember to stay in that kitchen and keep on cooking, and God bless. If you haven't done so, please like, subscribe, share, and remember to hit that notification bell for all the up-to-date episodes. You can subscribe to our channel by clicking the icon here in the center. Also, on both sides are additional recipes from our channel if you are interested in checking those out. Adios, until next time.